Hey, Coach, can you talk about the way how you guys have looked in these last couple games, especially the end-of-game situations, especially how you guys have had your chances at the end, but for some reason they're just not going in?
Yeah, I mean, you focus on what you can control. First of all, I think we were down 10 and we grind all the way back, took a 4-point lead. That showed a lot of character on our part. And then again, we have a side out. We run a great side out play. We executed it fantastic. We got a great shot, and Miles has made big shots for us in his career. We went to Miles, had a big shot, and it went in and out. I mean, our execution's been really good. Wouldn't change anything in that. I think we just got to, we're going to knock one of these down. We are. We're going to win one of these late because I think we're executing too well. But it's frustrating for everybody.
Hey, Barrel, let's come to you next. Tanyan Luce, you'll be on deck.
Jim, what were your options for that shot? Was Miles the first choice for you? Did you have anything else?
No, it was MJ. So we ran a side out play. Jamari comes off. We flipped it back. We had a staggered ball screen for MJ to attack, and then we had John set a quick flare screen for Miles Dredd. If MJ couldn't get downhill, he would look for that one. So we had several options on it, and we had Zay with a baseline cut too. So hey, listen, it was executed to perfection. You couldn't get a better shot than that. That would have won the game. I mean, it was in and out. So guys executed really well.
Thanks, Coach. Tanyan Luce, you've got the next question. Justin Morgenstein, you're up next.
Hi, Coach. It seems like there's been a number of times over the past few games where you've just kind of had some lags in the play and fallen behind by some substantial margins at times. Do you think that's going to be an issue going forward where you kind of have to dig yourself out of a hole on a consistent basis?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Like it's on the road. On the road, we're not playing with the same pop to start games that we are at home. Last game at Wisconsin on the road was kind of similar first half. It was kind of a grind. Both teams, in the 20s, and then here we only scored 24 points, held them to 32. I thought the second half we played with a little bit more like ourselves, getting stops playing out in transition. So we got to figure it out. I mean, listen, if I knew the answer to it, we'd already been doing it. So, we're plugging away. This is a tough league to win on the road. We're putting ourselves in position to. This is going to help us later in the season, whether it's Big Ten tournament or late in the year. It's going to help us because we've been in so many close games.
Thanks, Coach Tanyan Luce. Let's come to you. Justin Morgenstein. Let's come to you next.
Jim, I know he didn't make the shot at the end, but can you just talk about Miles' impact, stepping in at the four since he's been back, both offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I thought Miles played a really good game today. I know he was 3 for 12, but I thought he was really great defensively. He was aggressive, making shots. Just his leadership, his senior leadership down the stretch. I thought, we stayed with that group. I think we found a group that was actually playing well. We kind of kept that group together on the floor. Just called some timeouts, and again, Miles has made some big shots for us. He's crying in the locker room right now. It's not his fault. Like, can't control that stuff. We got a good shot. He took it. But he's made a big impact for us. And if he can continue to improve, then, we can get these guys. Again, Miles played well, but Seth didn't. We got to try to get these guys playing well at the same time.
Corey Geiger, let's come to you for the next question. Nate Bauer, you'll be next. Mark Brennan, you'll follow Nate.
Corey, I think you're on mute.
Corey, are you able to unmute? All right, Nate, let's hop over to you. We'll come back to Corey.
Jim, you touched on it, but can you put your finger on the just the field goal percentages, I guess, in the first half? What has been the struggle scoring points over the last 3 games?
Yeah, I think we've gotten a little stagnant offensively. We haven't gotten the stops that we've been getting at home too. Where we can get out and play, with pace and tempo. But I think we got a little stagnant. Guys stood a little bit too much today instead of us moving. The ball wasn't moving as sharp, wasn't moving as crisp. Guys weren't really playing off each other. And the team was really loading up in the paint, kind of, crowding us a little bit. So it's something that we've been working on since the last 2 games, and we just got to continue to work on it. We got to continue to get back to ourselves offensively and really moving the ball quickly, playing with better pace and tempo.
Corey, let's come back to you, and then we'll go to Mark Brennan, and then Tandy Moose, you'll finish up this session.
Can't hear you.
Corey, do you want to type the question to me? We'll go to Mark Brennan next, and then we'll try and come back to you.
Hey, Jim, I'm sorry I got in a little bit late, but can you put your finger on why Seth is struggling? And it looks like that impacts other areas of his game. His free throws aren't quite there. The rebound, when he's scoring, everything's kind of going. So what's kind of going on there, and how do you kind of get that back together? Thanks.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit of confidence. I think it's, we're all telling him to shoot the ball. I think some of it's a little bit is shot preparation. I think he's got to see it 2 passes away. He's got to recognize he's got to get his feet ready and be aggressive to shoot the basketball. Because, again, guys are closing out on him really hard and fast. So he's only open for a quick second. I think he's kind of hesitating at times. And maybe it's just a little bit of a confidence issue. But, he was in the gym the other day after our game, getting up shots and working on it. And he'll get back at it. We'll get him back going.
The question for Corey is, Coach, you mentioned earlier that this will help you later in the season, but you're running low on games. Is there enough time to get this figured out and get the wins, get enough wins?
Yes, I think so. We got to just keep grinding and just keep getting better, keep focusing on getting better. Part of that right now is, making – the issue is we do late game situations all the time. Obviously, I think that's why we execute so well, and we're making them. We're making them in practice. We're making them in our late game situations, and now it's just the opportunity to make them in games got to go down. But we just got to keep plugging, keep getting better, and focus on one day at a time. Like we can't look at running out of games. We're not running out of games. We got a bunch of games ahead of us that we got to play.
Tandy Moose, let's come to you for the last question of this session.
Hi, Coach. Over the past couple games, some of your stars or your traditional scorers have kind of struggled at times. Does that concern you at all that you're having to go to some other options for scoring throughout your games, or are you okay with that?
Well, it's funny. I think one of you guys asked that question last game, and I said, no, I wasn't concerned. I think we'll get back. I am a little concerned now having 3 games in a row where we haven't gotten to 60. But again, I think it's not from a lack of working hard. It's not from a lack of trying. I think we just got to keep instilling confidence in these guys offensively. Isaiah Brockington normally doesn't go 1 for 8. Seth Lundy 0 for 4. Those guys are going to bounce back, and we just got to get in a rhythm. And the way we do is by just taking our unselfishness to another level.